So what we're going to do is we're just going to get started with an introduction. So Matt recently joined the team. He definitely joined it at a very interesting point, in our little journey here with the funded trader. But I'm going to let him do a little bit of background on himself. We're definitely really excited for him to join the team and to get started. So that being said, the floor is yours, Matt.
All right, hey guys, thanks so much for the introduction, Angelo. As you mentioned, my name is Matthew Race. I'm the new Chief Operating Officer here at the Funded Trader. This is my third week officially at the firm, and as you shared, it's been quite an exciting and jam-packed, action-packed couple of weeks getting onboarded and understanding our processes, meeting the team, diving into all things the Funded Trader. So part of my background is in the startup community. I ran a software company for about 10 years prior to joining the Funded Trader. I was a co-founder and the chief operating officer there. And my role primarily revolved around building out the infrastructure of our organization, interacting with and really leading the entire customer service and experience team, and facilitating leadership responsibilities with our board, hosting executive meetings and setting strategic vision for the organization. So over the last year, I was able to connect with Angelo in a really exciting capacity. It kind of evolved. Early on our capacity, we were mostly doing mindset and performance training and mentorship for members of the company. So both at Forex League and at the Funded Trader. And so this primarily revolved around how do we help people develop their leadership skills, develop their confidence, develop systems and protocols that allow them to achieve self-mastery, both in their personal lives and certainly in their professional lives. It evolved more into business coaching and mentorship alongside Angelo and his other co-founder, Carlos, two incredible guys. I have a lot of respect for everyone. I have a lot of respect for everyone on the team, especially Angelo and Carlos here. They've been doing a great job building this organization, and certainly technology, everything they got going on. I think it's one of the most competitive, the most inspiring firms I've ever seen in this space. And the vision that these guys have, we're at 1% of what the actual real big vision is. So I just want to thank everyone for being here, for welcoming me to the team. You'll be seeing a lot more of me. I'll be doing more content around mindset, performance, mentorship, and training moving forward. I'll be on more of these community updates, and I'm very much looking forward to serving everyone in this capacity in the community. So Angela, I'll go ahead and pass it back to you.
For everyone that can hear, what we're going to do is, like always, we're going to designate the first half hour of the call is going to be me just kind of ranting about different updates, with the Funded Trader, what we're doing. Obviously, we've been listening to you guys in the Discord, and we kind of have a general idea of what you guys want us to talk about. Let's see what you guys want us to talk about. So, and then the last half of the session, we're going to do just a 30-minute Q&A. And we're going to do a giveaway. So we'll give away one 100K account. And all you got to do to qualify for the giveaway is just ask one question in the chat. So just post one question, and then we'll run through probably about 10 to 20 questions at the end. And, we'll answer as best as we can. So that being said, we're going to kind of just get started with something a bit minor here, just a longer term project that we have been talking about with you guys, and it's overall just improvements to the website. Recently we did the whole overhaul where we obviously have our new site, which we're definitely very pleased with the outcome of it. We're still getting situated a bit with just getting some updates on there more regularly when it comes to the media section and whatnot. But one of the bigger things that we do want to do is we definitely want to consolidate our login. So everyone complains that there's a login for the website, there's a login for the dashboard, and then people get confused as to what password to use for what, and there's a login for your account. So there's a lot of confusion going on, and we're doing the best we can to explain, what to do in those scenarios. But ultimately what we're going to do is we're just going to combine and create what's going to be called the Funded Trader Terminal. So I've spoken on this a little bit on a previous call as well. But we finally scoped out the full project and we're getting ready to go into a more like implementation and build out phase of this entire thing. So that's going to take place over the next month or so. But basically what's going to happen is we're going to have our main website here, and then we're going to have, once you actually go into the My Account section, or it's going to be like your terminal, that's where you're going to be able to see the competitions, the leaderboard. You're going to be able to purchase challenges. You're going to be able to see all your dashboards. You can actually archive any of your dashboards or any of your previous accounts. Because I know right now everyone's like, oh, I have 100 accounts on my one dashboard, right? So we're going to be definitely cleaning that up the best way that we can. I just want to ask you guys not to annotate the screen. I see some people drawing on here, and I know that's also a setting, Matt, because we've had this before on funded or Forex League where people annotate the screen a little bit, but I think that's something we'll have to handle after. So I just ask you guys, don't annotate the screen. You're gonna ruin it for the rest of us if you guys start drawing stuff on there. But that being said, so back to the dashboard, I know a lot of people get kind of frustrated about there being like 10 to 20 accounts on there, and then you don't know what your account number is for like current challenges and stuff like that. So little changes like that, I feel like are going to go a long way with just improving overall like what we're doing. All right. So anyway, we just asked you guys to be respectful and not to annotate. So getting back into this, doing the dashboard, definitely I feel like it's going to be a big upgrade overall for us. I definitely think that it's a project that is needed, and it's something that we've been scoping out for quite some time. We're finally getting the availability to actually put it onto the calendar, and once it's actually in a more like implementation phase, we'll start to do a little demo on it so you guys can see kind of what we're talking about. But just to be honest, I mean, we're literally looking at the other best firms in the industry, right? We're looking at FTMO, we're looking at My Forex Funds, we're looking at kind of what they're doing and the way that they're set up. And I really think FTMO is one of the only ones that actually does this the best way possible, where they just have, like, obviously I've traded with FTMO as well, and I'm looking at it all the time, and they just have like their terminal, and that's where you're purchasing your challenges. You got some cool tools as well, right? Everyone knows, you know, recently they give an update about this little trade management tool that they gave out. I think that that's amazing, right? We're not going to sit here and say that it's not. It's definitely really cool, and that's something that we want to bring in the future as well. So the goal is to get it where we have a terminal as good or better than they do, and I think that we're definitely on the way to getting there. So little update for the website, nothing too crazy. Like there's some other things like on the competitions and leaderboard pages. We don't currently have the live chat in the bottom right corner. We're about to implement that like today or tomorrow. And yeah, so that way we can actually, you know, have the website be a little bit more uniform. I think since the last time we did do a call, we had added this whole select language thing down here. So if you guys do want to translate the website into different languages, you could always just utilize this little drop down here, and you guys can do that. So little updates to the website. I know yesterday, let's get into these program updates. So I know yesterday I kind of dropped a hint that we were going to be doing a new program, right? So we're probably going to be doing a new program. We're not probably, we're scoping it out right now. We definitely see some of the competitors offering some very interesting things. And I think one of them that is certainly on the radar of everyone is this one-step challenge, right? One-step challenge, lower minimum trading days, more speed when it comes to passing between phase 1, 2, and getting funded, right? Everyone's voiced that that's something that they want to see from us. You know, everyone complains about getting the funded accounts in 9 days, having to wait 48 hours to get their phase 2. You know, the minimum trading days being 5, you know, that's, you know, obviously fantastic. So we're scoping out right now, creating a brand new program that's going to rival what some of these other people are doing with the one-step challenges. The leverages will most likely be the same that they currently are with the standard challenge now. The only difference is the drawdown will most likely be different and won't be 12% max drawdown. The drawdown will most likely be much tighter. The overall max drawdown and the daily drawdown might be structured a little bit differently. Keep in mind, doing a one-step challenge is definitely a way different program than what we're offering now with the standard challenge. So there is going to be different rules or just different setups when it comes to the program. So that's something that we're currently scoping out right now. We want to make sure that we get everything right when it comes to the pricing, when it just comes to the technology. So that way, when it goes live, everything works the way that it should. And one of the things that we definitely want to work on is reducing the wait time for the funded accounts. I think that's something that's very important to the community. We see it, every single day, people complaining about that. So we think with this new program, we are going to be able to reduce the wait time. And the goal would be to be able to have someone get their first payout within the first month, right? With whether it's the first 14 days, first 20 days, first 30 days, that's going to be a little bit different than obviously the standard challenge program and the current timeline that we have for that. But that being said, the rules will be slightly different. So we're currently in the midst of a few things. So once we get these projects a bit further along, we're going to start to work on the programs. And one of those things that we definitely want to talk about that kind of leads into us being able to do the programs is definitely the broker. So the broker is a big topic that we've been discussing on obviously the past several community updates. The broker is something that's very important to discuss because everyone wants to know, when is Funded Trader going to have live conditions? When is Funded Trader going to have our own broker? Everything like that. And I will say this, guys, it has been quite the learning experience going through and trying to get set up with the broker. Obviously, Voyage Markets is what we've been trying to push through for several weeks now, for a couple months. And Matt could even attest, I mean, coming on the team, how interesting it's been, trying to work with all these different partners and trying to get set up with the broker. So it's a learning experience. And at the end of the day, we're very close to the solution that we need to really upgrade the infrastructure of the company. That being said, you guys obviously see that we no longer are working with Nash Markets. This is not because Nash Markets is bad or anything like that, right? We actually are very thankful that Nash Markets has been the great partner that they have been for this amount of time, for the first 8 to 9 months of this company being launched. So they have definitely helped us tremendously over the first year of our business. So we don't want any way to put any dirt on their name or anything like that. They have definitely been a great partner. They've serviced us the best that they can. We're currently still using them for the competitions, but for the challenges, Purple Trading is the only option right now for purchasing the standard challenges. And that is just because we couldn't come to an agreement with Nash Markets to continue to use them. Now, I know that a few people are upset about that, not because Purple Trading is not a good, reliable broker, but it's because Purple Trading doesn't allow crypto on the weekends, right? Purple Trading doesn't allow you to open and close that crypto trade on the weekend, so that you can't obviously utilize that for a trading day and pass your challenges a bit faster. We definitely understand that that is a concern because as someone who takes challenges myself and has taken challenges myself, I obviously know that I always want to get that trading on the weekend so I can pass faster and get to the point where I have my phase 2 and have my funded account and so on and so on. So we're going to look into how we can resolve that issue or that problem that people obviously have expressed concern about. We're going to look into whether it's reducing our trading days even more, so on and so on. We're going to look into how we can resolve that, because Purple Trading has come to us recently and they've actually agreed to engage with us in sort of a more in-depth agreement. We originally tried to get them to work with us more closely, but in the beginning of the company being started, it was sort of like, all right, we'll give you this and let's see how it goes. And they've gotten to the point now where they want to work with us more closely, and they want to take our partnership kind of to the next level, without getting too much into detail. So we're deciding to continue to work with Purple Trading. we're going to continue to build infrastructure utilizing Purple Trading for the foreseeable future for the next couple months. That being said, when it comes to voyage markets, we've actually been contacted by a new partner that has seen the funded trader as they're a brokerage firm, has seen the funded trader as being a really good opportunity to get involved, to kind of consult us, utilizing their brokerage expertise. And that's something that, quite frankly, the leadership team here is trying to, like you guys are trying to get mentorship with trading, trying to get mentorship, with other things. We're continuing to try to get mentorship, in our own professional careers as well. And the fact that we've been contacted by this potential partner, we see as a huge opportunity, not only for us, but for just the community overall. We think long term, this is going to be the right decision to continue to just mature our relationships with specifically Purple Trading and also this new vendor that we're going to be working with. So that being said, voyage markets for now is kind of on the back burner. Unfortunately, originally we wanted to have our own broker and kind of come out with that. And not to say it was wishful thinking, but unfortunately, the relationship that we were building with one of the bridge providers did not come through, and kind of is what it is. And luckily at this point, we have new relationships that we formed that I think are going to help bring us to where we need to be. And at the end of the day, long term, definitely want to come out with our own brokerage solution, whether it's called funded trader or voyage markets or whatnot. But I think for now, we've realized that the actual best move for us is to advance our relationship with Purple Trading and to seek out a vendor with brokerage experience. That way we can get the mentorship we need and kind of just bring everything to the next level, because we really want to come out with these new programs more quickly and kind of just upgrade our infrastructure. And instead of building it from scratch within our team, it makes the most sense for us to kind of just partner with these larger brokerage firms. That way they can provide us the infrastructure that we need to kind of take this thing all the way to the next level. Because at this point, in about, we launched last May, so in about 9 months time, I mean, we've had some crazy growth, right? We've definitely established ourselves as a legitimate option in the prop trading world. And at this point, we have to make the right decisions so that way we can get from where we are now to really take things to the next level. And this is something when it comes to like the business side of prop firms and whatnot. A lot of people are curious about what's going on. Obviously, a lot of people don't realize what's going on. At the end of the day, all the decisions that are being made are for the benefit of the company, obviously, but also the trader. We're looking to be here long term, and for you guys to be able to get great opportunities from us upgrading our infrastructure and just getting to the point where we are servicing you at an extremely high level. So at the end of the day, you guys are always being kept in mind with the decisions that we are being made. So since we're deciding to go in this new direction, just know that it's definitely for the benefit of you guys. So I'm going to pause there before we kind of get into the next topic, and just do a little reminder, post in the chat one question, and one question will qualify you guys for the giveaway that we're going to do. So let's see, let's get into some other topics here. So the brokerage updates, we'll be putting out some more information. We're getting some things finalized. We'll put out some more information on kind of where we go from here with the next brokerage solution that we're going to be implementing. But like I said, currently just upgrading the infrastructure with Purple Trading. And what that actually means is everyone knows that the indices trading has been paused recently. So with actually updating or upgrading the relationship with Purple Trading, we are going to be able to bring the indices back. So we're hoping over this next weekend, we're doing an upgrade. And once we actually get that established, we'll do some testing, and then indices will be back for the funded traders because we know that that's something that's extremely important to you guys to have access to. It's one of the most traded instruments, NAS 100 and US 30. So that's something that we're looking to bring back, obviously, ASAP. So if you are trading a challenge right now, you can trade indices, as you wish. But when it comes to the funded accounts, we're going to be implementing some new kind of infrastructure that's going to allow us to re-enable the indices trading. And that being said, what does this all mean? I know I'm in obviously other groups as well, and I'm kind of seeing what's going on. And as everyone knows, right now, the way that we're set up is we literally just give out demo accounts, to everyone, right? We give out demo accounts, and you're seeing some people write messages. I think this is a very important topic for us to hit on. You're seeing some people type messages about, my phase 2 has been denied, my funded account, I made less profit than I made on the account. And I kind of want to establish like what is all this about. And I think what this is really just educating the retail trader on some brokerage kind of not jargon, but just some topics. Originally, I had no idea about any of this stuff either. And as the trader, I mean, you pretty much just look at your screen, you hit buy or sell, and then whatever it shows, if it shows blue or red, you assume that's what it is. So with the demo accounts, and we've spoken on this quite at length at this point, but with the demo accounts, pretty much what happens is there's no order book when you actually take a trade. So what that means is you hit sell 50 lots, Euro USD. There's nobody on the other side of that trade. There's no one actually executing that trade in the live market. So you're going to get filled at, say you short at 1298, you're going to get filled at 1298. There's not going to be any slippage. There's not going to be any difference between where you actually get filled and where the live market would actually fill you. So you're getting an unrealistic market condition. Now, since we don't currently have our own broker, what we're doing to actually trade with the funded people, and we've spoken about this obviously a bunch of times, but what we're doing is we're using a trade copier. So we're actually connecting these demo accounts to our funded accounts, and then we're copying the trades over. And since the demos aren't actually simulating live slippage, it creates a situation where on our accounts, our live account, we're actually losing on trades that people are winning on. And what I want to do, because people are going to have a lot of questions about this, what I want to do is I want to actually just share my screen. I have 2 examples here. All right, so we're going to run through an example here. And what we're showing you is this is one of the funded accounts where someone requested a payout. Their total profit was 42,000. And what I'm talking about when it comes to the slippage is basically the price at which the trader entered versus the price at which the actual an actual live account would enter that same exact trade. So in this model, we're basically estimating the slippage to be, I believe it's about like 1 pip. It's like 1 or 2 pips. So it's not much. You can see right here, it's actually even less than that. So slippage is literally like 2 points or something like that. So it's not anything crazy. It's like less than a pip. But at the end, it ends up making a huge difference on the actual profit. So you're seeing in this column, this is the open price on a demo. This is the open price on a live account. This is the close price on a demo account. This is the close price on a live account. So every time you're trying to open a trade, you're getting a little bit of slippage. Every time you're trying to close a trade, you're getting a little bit of slippage. This also depends on the volume, right? So every time you're taking a trade with a much higher lot size, this is also going to impact this more significantly, as opposed to if you're trading with a lot lower lot sizes. And that's why originally with the indices, we had that rule for the funded traders where they're only allowed to actually trade in intervals of like 0.2 or whatever it was, 0.5, because this actually helped to resolve this issue. But then it just got to the point with indices where it was becoming, even with that, people were stacking trades and whatnot, and it was just becoming too much of an issue. But basically, this column showing their profits on demo, this is showing their profits on live. So obviously, all that we're doing here when it comes to doing a calculation of the live profit here is we're just taking the live open price and we're just subtracting it or adding it or whatever to the live close price. So we're just finding out what is the actual true amount of pips or points that are being made on that trade. We're multiplying it by the volume, and then that's how we're actually getting the live profit. So you can see this person's losing 640, we're losing 1,000. This person's losing 680, we're losing 1,100. So there's obviously a big difference in the profits that you guys or some people that are using a lot of high lot sizes on their accounts that they're getting. You see with the profits, 1,500, we're making 900. So when you add all this up and you kind of go through all this, and we can make this public, this information, if people want to review this and kind of see what's going on. When you add all of this up, you can see here total profit demo 42,000, total profit live 12,000. So what this means is they made 42,000 on this demo account, and in a live market with being actually executed, this strategy or this trader actually lost $12,000. So this is why we've been kind of at a point where we're trying to upgrade the infrastructure of what we're doing, because as you guys can imagine, this becomes a huge problem for us as we're trying to copy traders. And at the end of the day, like we're giving you the demo accounts and you're seeing 42 grand. So you're assuming like, all right, part of our agreement is that I'm going to be split out whatever I'm making on that account, because those are the conditions that I'm given. But the whole point of this is for everyone to get a simulated trading experience of a live environment. That this doesn't help anyone making demo profits, as everyone knows, and everyone's very vocal about this. Demo profits don't actually matter. It's all about what you can actually do on a live account. So what are we going to do to resolve this? We don't have to go through this on every single account, and this doesn't have to be talked about in sessions, blah, blah, blah. Is basically this coming weekend, Purple Trading is going to be implementing what's called a price bridge for like an order book for our demo environment. So the demo is going to be connected to a live server, and then it's going to simulate slippage, going to simulate live fills. It's going to be the exact price on live servers. So that's going to actually resolve this issue, and that's going to be implemented over this weekend specifically for the funded trader group. This is going to allow us to do our copy trading much more effectively for the short term, and then that will give us more than enough time long term to work with a new partner that we're working with. I'm not mentioning their name for particular reasons. We want to make sure that we have everything in place before we start to come outright with it, but that will make sure in the long term, once we can get set up with them, we'll have even a more sophisticated solution to this. So this is just one example. I'm going to go ahead and just share another example as well. You can see my screen, right? All right, so this example, I was conflicted whether I wanted to show this because it's a bit dramatic, but it's basically we're taking all of their trades that they're taking on Euro AUD, GA, not NASDAQ, all their trades, right? We're looking at the open price. We're looking at a live open price, which would be just adding the most minimal amount of slippage, which is literally just this order being executed. And the way that we're calculating this slippage is basically the volume. We're doing it in increments of 10. So at every single different increment of volume, there's going to be a little bit more slippage that would be on that trade. And that's kind of how we're calculating the difference between this open and this live open price. Then you can see here what the close price was at, and then what the live close price was at. And then if you come into this column, you can see what their profits are versus what our profits are. And since they're obviously taking a lot of trades over time, if you add all of these up, and you can see, especially on these like smaller scalps that they're doing, and I'm going to get into that in a second, scalping, but you can see that the losses kind of just add up here, and the strategy doesn't actually become profitable in a live market situation. And again, this is something, because you might say, okay, well, they're trading on the demo, maybe with the live account, they would make adjustments. They wouldn't be closing at these prices, and then the strategy would actually be profitable. That's something that we're certainly thinking about, and it's something that we're going to see. We're going to have everyone on the live conditions after this weekend, and then we're going to see what happens. We'll see who can actually continue to make profits with the live conditions, and at that point, we're getting closer to exactly what we're trying to do here, which is find who the actual best traders are with the best strategies to work with us and to trade our capital, right? That's what's most important here. People forget that it's our capital that's being put up, our investors' capital that's being put up to trade money. They just think it's this punt and run, thing where you just get an account, you just hit a buy or sell, I make 100 million, and you get the money, right? No, this is supposed to be a relationship between us and our traders where we're working together to make ourselves and the traders as profitable as possible ultimately. And that's what's going to long term build the firm and create new opportunities for everyone and everything like that. So again, we're going to share these spreadsheets publicly. People can, take a look at them. We can get some feedback from you guys. If you have questions about it, post in the chat right now, and we'll cover what questions you guys have. But obviously, as you can see, this becomes a huge issue for us. If this person's making 100,000 and then we're losing quote unquote 100,000 if we're copying this person, this is something that we've clearly identified, and we're working to resolve with this new plugin. So that's what I wanted to share when it comes to market conditions. And I also want to comment on this. One, this is something that you'll see in the My Forex Funds Discord, is they talk a lot about the slippage, and there's messages being posted there regularly now about how they've implemented live conditions and people are complaining about it. That's because people are used to the demo conditions. Now they get live ones. They're like, what's going on? So this is something that's being implemented by other prop firms as well. It's not something that we're just doing, ourselves. This is definitely an industry standard thing that we're just getting up to code with our infrastructure, which is just another thing that is going to increase our stability and scalability and everything like that, which obviously is what's most important for our community. So that being said, I want to comment on one other thing when it comes to scalping, because people are getting very confused, and people are like saying in the chat that you can't scalp, you can't do this. It's not as much about scalping as it is about the volume of the order. So a lot of people were like, oh, if I hold my trade 10 minutes, that makes a big difference. It's more just about when you hit buy or sell, the volume at which you buy or sell at, that price that you're getting in a real live environment, depending what volume, if you're doing a ton of volume, I know some people in here trade with no stop loss or 1 pip stop loss, they take 100 lot trades. Those strategies cannot be translated using a copier. Like they just really can't be. And we're just being very honest about it. So it's not about scalping. If you scalp using, 1% trades, you have like, normal stop losses. By normal, I mean 10, 20, 30 pip stop losses. You're most likely not going to be affected by this whatsoever. If you're using 2 pip stop losses, you take 100 lot trades, you max risk on every position, like you max leverage, you'll most likely fall into a category where you are affected by something like this. And I also will warn you that if you're doing that and next weekend you have a funded account and you have the live conditions, you're most likely going to get your back strapped, in the market next week, with the live conditions. So I do forewarn people with those types of strategies. They are not really profitable, or not that they're not really profitable, they're not profitable in a live environment for the most part. So just a forewarning kind of about that. Last thing here that we want to update you guys on is definitely something that's been very interesting. Matt's been dealing with it with us for the past 2 weeks here, and we finally, we haven't been talking about it publicly at all, because we've just been kind of going through our due diligence to make sure that we go through the situation to, the extent of it. And we've gotten to the point where we've assessed kind of what went on and everything like this. So everyone's probably been seeing messages in specifically My Forex Funds. There was a person posting in there that they got access to our like website, right? They hacked the funded trader, big hacker, and they got all of our information and they're leaking our information. And obviously for us, I mean, that becomes a huge concern, because we're looking at our entire infrastructure, we're looking at our websites, our servers, where we're storing accounts. We're now thinking about our support team. We're going through a bunch of scenarios like, how is this happening? And to what extent is this a problem? And then we did the password reset. So we sent out new passwords to you guys the past 2 weeks. So it's time to pretty much talk about what actually happened, given that we understand the full scope of the situation, because at the end of the day, you guys deserve to know. So a couple weeks ago, I had these bots created for Discord. You guys probably seen them in there. They're really cool. They're in the competitions, the leaderboard channels in Discord. And basically what they do is they pull down information from the competitions page on the website and the leaderboard page on the website, and then they format it into a Discord announcement or whatever, that little bot, I guess you can call it. So that little formatting in the Discord channel, and it just makes a nice visual representation of the current updates for the leaderboard and the competitions. Basically, when this person was hired, they were given a level of access to our Discord server that they should not have been given. They were able to then create a backdoor by being given this level of access. And then by having that level of access, they were able to look at our tickets and basically look at conversations of more private channels that then, as you guys can imagine, gives them a bit more information. This happened on the Forex League Discord mainly, and it happened on the Funded Trader Discord secondarily. The reason I say that is because the Forex League Discord, as most of you guys know, I run the Forex League Discord as well. The Forex League Discord, we do the free challenges for members. So if you become a Forex League lifetime member, you get every month, you get one opportunity to start a 10K challenge completely for free. And if you pass, then you get a Funded Trader challenge, right? So with that being said, the instructions for actually getting started with that is they check out on the website using a special link, and then they have to submit their login credentials in a ticket in the Discord. And then my support rep will log their account number and password and store that somewhere else. But the point is they're sending their credentials into the ticketing system in the Forex League Discord, right? So they're showing that their dashboard login as well as their MT4 and their password. So this person that created the bot, they were able to see the tickets, and that's why most of the accounts that they were actually leaking, quote unquote, were people taking the Forex League challenges, the 10K ones. And yeah, that's how he was getting their account details. Now, for people in Funded Trader that were affected by this, it was pretty much just people that were maybe they forgot their password and they created, for whatever reason, a ticket in Discord, because that's where they prefer to contact our support team. And then our support team had sent them their password through Discord. That's how the Funded Trader ones, quote unquote, got compromised. We've done a full assess of like, what is the actual scope of this? We have over 4,000 accounts that are, actively being traded between all the challenges. And there was pretty much probably like 50 to 100 people at most affected by this. So that's like, less than a 1%, less than a 0.5% actual impact to our systems. So that being said, I'm going to give this up to Matt. He's going to just touch on kind of where we go from here and what we're doing so that this doesn't happen going into the future.
Yeah, and appreciate that context. And something that security, as you guys can imagine, is a top priority, especially for a platform like ours. We're experiencing rapid growth, and trust is everything. We're going to live and die by trust. We're going to live and die by security. So we've already had protocols in place for security, obviously, prior to this incident. But of course, moving forward, as we evaluate this, luckily the person who showed us this vulnerability and was exposing this information was actually rather forthcoming and worked very diligently with us to resolve this completely. So over the last week, over the weekend, we were able to handle this whole situation with that individual. Very helpful. They showed us everything that was going on. They actually worked with us to resolve all the issues. And of course, on our end, we went above and beyond to confirm all those things were true. All the vulnerabilities are addressed. But moving forward, what this is really triggered for us is a deeper commitment to security protocols and building our security infrastructure. This is something that any growing company and organization need to do anyway. I'm sure, as you guys can imagine, as we're looking at our servers, as we're looking at our communities, as we're looking at even the online tools we use, people that we hire and bring into our organization. All of our processes at this point are being evaluated and audited to determine and to ensure that all security protocols are being put in place. But we've also hired a firm to do extensive penetration and vulnerability testing on our entire infrastructure. So the good news here, guys, is that while this was largely contained to a very small amount of users within our overall user population, that's great news. What we are doing is ensuring that anything we can do from here forward, we're proactively building out our infrastructure, and you can absolutely trust that as you're using our tools, as you're purchasing our products, as you're interacting even with our support team, your data and everything is going to be secure, is private, and we take that as the highest motive for us, certainly as an organization. This is something we're very, very, very serious about. So I really appreciate you guys, supporting us through this. We understand over the last 2 weeks, there's been a lot of confusion, maybe even some concern about everything that's been going on. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for all the support. We've actually received a lot of messages from people saying that they really appreciate, our level of transparency and, really looking to work with us. So for everyone who has been with us this whole time and has been watching this, and even been on the other end experiencing this, we want to extend our deepest apologies for the situation. But number two, we also want to extend our deepest gratitude for your support. And as we continue to, our interest is to become the most successful platform out there. And it's really built off the backbone of our security layer, our infrastructure, and of course, the amazing people that work here at Funded Trader. But it's all in service to you guys here and placing your trust in us. So thank you. I don't want to be too long-winded, but the high-level notes from what I'm sharing is that one, big gratitude for everyone who's been a part of this today in the Funded Trader community and family. Number two, that we take security incredibly seriously, have already identified any and all issues that were related to this exact incident. We've patched them all as well. But of course, number three, long-term security infrastructure and protocols are being advanced within the organization across all areas. So if anyone does have any other questions, you're welcome to post here. Of course, we have our Discord community as well, where we can answer any one-on-one questions there as well. But Angela, I'll pass it back to you unless there's anything else you want to share in context of what I already shared.
Yeah, that being said, I just want to make it clear. So Matt posted a message yesterday in the support channel, right, in Discord. And what we're going to do is we're identifying a new ticketing system to work with that's a bit more secure, that we can control the permissions a little bit better. So over the next 30 days, we will not be allowing support tickets to be created in the Discord chat. So we just ask you guys to go to the website, go to the bottom right corner, just go to the live chat. We're all on there. And the same level of service is going to be given on there as in Discord. So we just ask you guys to bear with us through this upgrade to the ticketing system on Discord. And yeah, that'll ensure that something like this doesn't happen again. Because like Matt said, we've identified obviously, where the mistakes were made in this, given this situation. And moving forward, we know that beyond Discord, right, there's going to be other people that are going to try to obviously come and hack what we're doing and, mess with, our website and other things. And this happens with every tech company. Every tech company is at risk of these security breaches, and even large scale companies come into these situations where obviously, data from the users unfortunately becomes compromised. And that is something that we're looking to avoid. So we're trying to get ahead of it. This is kind of lit a fire under our butts, to kind of get our IT security in place. And that's kind of why Matt's coming on board too, because Matt has a lot more experience when it comes to different organizational infrastructure structures that we should have in place. To this point, it's been pretty much me and Carlos, just building the back end of the operations, which has been, gone well, I'd say overall. But there's a lot of areas that we're looking to become more professional in and improve. And that's why Matt's coming on, and that's why we're so excited to have him working with us and helping guide us in this situation. So I can't reiterate enough like what he said. We really do appreciate you guys being really supportive during these times. I know there's a few people that want to just rant in the chat and spread FUD and want to just be the bearer of bad news and whatnot. And without those people, we wouldn't be living this beautiful human experience, I will say. So we appreciate those people as well, people that are not as understanding about those things. We certainly understand your frustration. And we're not trying to ban you from the Discord or silence you or anything like that. Everyone's entitled to obviously what they think about every single situation. But that being said, pretty much concludes the updates for today. When it comes to myself and Matt ranting about what we're doing. Next month, we're going to try to organize this a little bit more. We're going to get a nice little PowerPoint going for you guys. We're just going to, again, just try to up the level of professionalism for everything. I mean, to think that we started with a website that looked like it was straight off the Lego site. And now we've got this beautiful, night with all these geometric shapes. I'd say we came a long way. So we're just continuing down that road of just trying to become as professional as possible. And yeah, next month we'll do the update again. Same thing, end of the month. One last thing I want to touch on, because I see a lot of questions around it, is the competition. So let's just go real quick to the competitions page. So as you can see, it's wild how many people are registered for this stuff. But last month, obviously 8,400 people. This ends in 10 hours. So 10 hours left for the February competition. You guys have been training your asses off to this point. Literally over 50% of people have bombed out of this. So if you're in the top 3,600, you guys should be proud. You guys at least made it into the top. And then if you guys are in the top 20, obviously you're going to win a prize. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this ends up. And that being said, this is also the last day to register for the March competition. So this is going to start in 11 hours. It's going to be lined up pretty much exactly with this. So if you guys want to get registered, come into here and you will be able to trade. People asked about a few questions. You will be able to trade indices. There is no stop loss rule, and it will be on Nash Markets. The account you get will be on Nash Markets. And as soon as this timer goes to 0, your account gets changed from read only to being able to be traded. So that being said, let's just start to get into the Q&A part of the session. We always go a little bit longer than we anticipate. And maybe Matt, send Carlos a message because we have that meeting at 1:30. Yep. I don't think we're gonna be able to hop on.
Yep, no problem.
For 1:30. So maybe just send a message. All right, let's start out with this, guys. We got our first question coming up here. Will the terminal be accessible via web browser, or is it going to be a separate app? So this is actually a very good question. I've been thinking a lot recently, and I think that creating a mobile app would definitely be something that would be really cool. For example, think of Robinhood, right? Robinhood has an amazing mobile app, great UI, right? Very friendly to use. I think we could create something similar to that. We could integrate like the MetaTrader API right with the app. People will be able to trade right on there as if they're trading on MetaTrader. You'd have your dashboard, your terminal, everything. I mean, think about how cool that would be if literally you log on to one application and you can do everything, right? You can purchase challenges, you can see the competitions, you can trade, right? You can chat with other people. All of our chats are on there as well. That would be honestly sick. Now also I think about how much money first that would be to create, and also how much time and testing and whatnot that would take to bring to market. That would probably be whole year of developing and coding, developing, planning, testing, going live with, but definitely something we're thinking and considering. And I have contacts that I want to pitch this idea to and see what they say. That being said, it will just be a web browser. So the terminal will just be web browser. You'll just log on to the website and literally just go to the My Account section. And once you go there, you'll just get into the terminal, and then everything you need will be in there. Very similar to FTMO. So they have a terminal as well. We want to do something similar to what they have. It's going to be extremely similar to that. So guys, again, post your questions in the chat. We're going to do a giveaway. 100K account goes out to one winner. I'll announce it before the end of the session. And all you got to do to enter is just post one question. Let's see. All right. So this is just, this is answered pretty much every day in the Discord. How much time do we need to wait to get credentials of a live account after passing phase 2? So it takes about 9 days to actually get the funded account, depending when you pass. Sometimes it's a bit faster, sometimes it's 5 days, and sometimes it's 9. The reason is a lot of it is the person gets the document, they don't sign the document right away. Then they sign the document has to be reviewed by the lawyer. And by document, I mean the trader's agreement. Sometimes there's amendments to the trader's agreement, depending if you guys got the 90% payouts promotion or some other promotions, right? We want to amend that in the agreements. So it's more just a paperwork type of thing. And the way that we're working kind of with our lawyer is we're in the US. And as you guys know, another firm, I won't mention what the name is, but they got shut down because of the regulators. The regulators came after them and basically shut down their prop firm. They're not in the US, they're outside of the US. But since we are in the US, there's no regulation around what we're doing. We're operating as legally as we can in the current environment. Now, that's not to say that the regulators can change the rules. That does happen all the time. But that's currently not the situation. But we are trying to, from a compliance standpoint, be as diligent as we possibly can be when it comes to paying people money, right? We're paying people money. There's a lot of when it comes to the accounting and the tax liabilities, everything like that. We want to make sure our books are completely clean, that there is no risk, to get looked into about anything. And part of doing that is being very diligent when it comes to the KYC. We are working actually with a vendor right now that will help automate our KYC process. We don't have to do it more as manually as we're doing it now. And that is going to speed up the process of getting funded accounts. So have to check this week on that meeting and what's the latest developments with that. But that is something that we're looking to build out and implement. So what that means is very similar to how you go to a broker or a more mainstream website and you submit your license, your proof of billing, and then they kind of just do loading screen and then approve your documents. It's a more robust KYC solution that can be trusted. We're looking to implement something like that, which will drastically reduce the wait time. Let's see, any plans for the Funded Trader 1-year anniversary? So that's something maybe I can, maybe Matt will touch on later on, is he's going to be working with us to actually organize just some internal executive kind of retreat for the partners. But I think also we're definitely trying to create either whether it's a meetup, with all of our people. I mean, we got people all over the world at this point that are trading with us. Maybe we identify a hotspot where we have a lot of people in that one area, and then we do something there. I don't know. We want to get creative with it. So I definitely see the 1-year anniversary being an important milestone and something that we want to celebrate. And we have a few months. I mean, well, it's actually crazy. It's already March, which is nuts. But so we have about 2 months, 3 months before the 1-year anniversary. So we'll definitely start to talk about it a bit more between ourselves and see if we can come up with something. Let's see. Okay, so can you go over the update with the new broker and when we can start indices? So I don't have an exact day, March 2nd, 3 p.m. Eastern time, you can start trading indices at this point. What I will say is this weekend, we're going to be implementing or just upgrading the infrastructure for purple trading. And then at that point, we'll do some testing. And then we're going to look to get indices flipped back on for the funded people as soon as we can. So as soon as next week. Let's see, what is the biggest withdrawal request someone has asked for? Pretty sure the biggest withdrawal request up until this point has been someone making 150K and they've been paid out 120K. So that's definitely the biggest one. And one thing you'll also see it, and this is, I went over the example earlier in the call with the slippage or with the live conditions versus the demo. One thing you guys can see is with our leaderboard, people are making a lot higher level of profits than if you go to FTMO's leaderboard. And that's because they have a lot of this infrastructure where they're simulating the live conditions on the demo accounts. They're doing other things as well, but that from doing that, it drastically reduces the profitability of these like arbitrage traders and these other weird strategies that people use on demos to make a ton of money, which obviously when it comes down to it reduces the like on the leaderboard, like, oh, we have a trader every month, like 3 every month making 100K when FTMO literally had one guy in history make over 100K, right? So it's really just upgrades to our infrastructure. I mean, maybe we just have better traders. Maybe you guys are just fucking better traders, right? I mean, we'll see. Once we get these conditions on there, we'll see what really happens. But I do believe for the most part that will take away those strategies that aren't realistic. FTMO has extended the challenge 14 days if you're up 5% with 3 days left, and each ends up implementing something similar. That's something I have to get on Blake about. Oh, that's something I definitely have to get on Blake about. I mean, he's in charge of our programs, right? So he's the one coming up with a new program, and then he comes to us, presents to us, and we kind of model it out, and like we'll see if we can do it or not. But when it comes to the extension, that's something I'll have to ask Blake about. We'll have to see what his input is. I know previously he has voiced that that's something that he wants to do, and I always thought that that was something fair to do as well. So we'll definitely look into that. Let's see this. Next question, congratulations for the amazing firm. Could you please answer if there is any way to complain about a decision by your staff when a trade is considered unrealistic, but in fact it isn't unrealistic? Maybe. Yeah, I mean, if there's a question or concern, obviously about something that you've been told by the support staff, best thing to really do, especially if you're talking with someone who you know is a support member and not Carlos, myself, Matt, Blake, or Nick, particularly one of the partners, is to just ask them to elevate the conversation, maybe to a partner or the management team. And then that way we can kind of look at your situation a bit more closely and really work with you to come to a solution that you're actually happy with. Let's see, what is the source of funds for the funded accounts? Are the investors legit? Do you provide a list of investors for the purpose of transparency? So currently we don't have that information public, right? The investors, who they are, what they're doing, everything like that. For the most part, from the beginning, obviously Blake, myself, Nick, Carlos, we put up, our own money to kind of get the operations of the business going and everything like that. When it comes to the models, the different models that are available for prop firms to run on, I think that's an interesting topic that we could potentially cover in a YouTube video, because the prop firm model calls for 2 different or 3 different methods. One of them obviously is extremely capital intensive. Another one is not as capital intensive, but they all accomplish kind of the same thing. So yeah, maybe more updates to come in a future video about that one. Is the deposit and withdrawal credit card available? I don't know if that's relevant to us, but if you want to purchase a challenge, you can certainly use a credit card or a debit card. Let's see this. Would be nice to have a broker that's compatible with TradingView. Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, considering the direction that we're going in, whatever broker we end up working with, I know to get approved on TradingView, it's going to take a lot to it's not going to take a lot, but they just only work with like FCA regulated. They only work with really the gold standard of regulation when it comes to brokers. That's why there's so few on there. I think we're going to have the opportunity to get that, but at this point, we're a bit early on to make that assessment, considering the direction that we're now going. Let's see this. Let's answer this one. I'm going to answer this one to the best of my ability. When it comes to tax related questions, we did a tax webinar last month. We're actually going to do another webinar on taxes probably this week. And we have a tax professional that we work with. He has experience as a trader, and he's able to advise everyone when it comes to taxes. As for this question, I'm going to answer this to the best of my ability, considering I'm not, actually a tax expert. So is the firm with legit funds so the profits from a funded trader can be declared in this country to pay taxes regularly without problem? So the way that we're set up is we're literally just a simulated trading entity. That's the way we've been advised to be set up in the US. We partner with different brokers, and we share our trading data. One of them happens to be Purple Trading. Another one will be being public very soon. And then they choose to trade using the trading activity on their firm. They control, their book and their bridge and everything like that. So we're more just partnering at this current time with brokerages, and they are conducting trading activity. So funded trader, we are simply finding the traders. We are simply offering at this current time these simulated trading conditions. And then when it comes to the funded accounts, the brokerage is what is actually conducting trading activities with those funded accounts. And when it comes to that whole topic, I mean, we could go on for a long time kind of explaining and more like teaching what the brokerage activity means and what they do and everything like that. And we've said this, several times. We haven't done it yet, but we definitely want to put together a video to continue to educate you guys on this. And this is something that Nash Markets also definitely tried to hammer home to us multiple times, is to continue to educate our client on really just what it means to be trading beyond the buy and sell button. When it comes to the back end of a brokerage business, they really believe in educating their clients on how it all runs and everything like that, so everyone's a bit more comfortable and a bit more aware of what goes on. And for example, if you're like max leveraging accounts, what the risks are actually for the brokerage and why they don't appreciate traders doing that for the most part. But that's something we haven't put out yet. Definitely a video idea that we could get into the pipeline and get into production. So we'll consider getting that out there to you guys. Let's see this. This is just a very basic question. Can we be paid through bank transfer if you buy your challenge with crypto, or you get paid with the same method you purchase? You can get paid through bank transfer. When you actually submit a withdrawal, you can choose whatever option you'd like. BTC, TransferWise, which is bank transfer. I think it's just called Wise now. So those are the two current options that you have for payouts. So it doesn't matter how you pay. It's not about how you start, it's how you finish, right? That's what they say. So yeah, you can choose, whatever method you want to get paid out at the end. Let's see. Let's go into this one. This is a good question for the actual tax webinar, but we'll just answer it. Are the traders considered contractors for USA tax purpose? Is the income reported on 1099? So what I would advise you to do is just come to the website, come to our partners, and then on this page, you're going to see this Traders Tax Pro. Just click here, claim offer. It'll bring you over to his website. And then here you can book a call with him, send him a text, and just ask him your tax related questions. He is our partner, like not our partner in the company, but he is just someone that we definitely recommend to work with. And I'm actually utilizing him to do taxes for myself, for my own trading activity and Forex League. So definitely a very reputable person to work with. Let's see here. This is a good question. What is the future of TFT when you guys grow? When you guys grow, is your team growing too, or focus on automation to respond for the system? So maybe that's something, Matt, that you can answer.
Yeah, it's kind of a yes and, right? We're looking to ultimately support our team in building out very strong systems and automation for them to be empowered in their roles to support our growing user base, right? So we look at our systems, we look at our communications, even our team, and so we look at how we can make those upgrades and really support them and support our team. So yes, we are looking at automations, we are looking at system improvement, but we are also looking at how are we as an organization building out the future org chart of our company. And that means elevating and investing in our current team and really helping them become better leaders, not only of themselves, but within the company. And also looking at how we can bring in more people underneath them. and even building out more of our management team itself. So it's kind of a yes, and of course, we're looking to build out more automation. We're looking to build out more systems and bring more tools to our processes. But at the same time, we are also looking at scaling the organization. But primarily, we don't want to scale the team prematurely. We always look at a system and performance audit currently with what we currently have. And then from there, we make improvements, and then we look at how to build out our team in addition to those improvements. So if there's any other questions around that, feel free to ask, but that's the high level of our strategy here at the Funded Trader.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks for that, Matt. So yeah, that's part of Matt coming on. That's kind of his whole role, is to help build us out these systems. So that way in the future, say we do want to raise some money or something like that, someone can come in and they can say, wow, these guys' systems are flawless. They're plug and play, and it all makes sense, right? It's not just a bunch of chickens running around with their heads cut off over there at Funded Trader, right? It's people that know what they're doing, and these are people that we ultimately want to invest in. And that's the same when it comes to the client. I mean, the client, you guys want to know that you're spending time on these challenges with a company and a leadership team that is actually working at a level of like a professional level, that's not operating at a deficiency, that's operating as efficient as possible. That way you guys aren't wasting your time. That way that there's not, the risk that the business is just run into the ground, for whatever reason, just because of incompetency or something. So we're definitely keen to get the operations to be running like a well-oiled machine. I'd say at this point, because of my background in operations, Carlos's background as an engineer, we've definitely put the ship together, and Matt's going to come in and we're about to build the fucking deluxe 3000 model.
No, it's so exciting, guys. So we again, like, just to even reiterate, if you guys, I want to give a shout out to our support team at Funded Trader. You guys interact with them so much on the day-to-day, people like Mohammed, Daud, just the whole team. And so I just want to give a shout out to them, because they've really been working their asses off the past 2 weeks specifically. And of course, they're on all the time, but they care so much about your experience. They care so much about, ensuring that they're resolving your issues, providing the right information in a timely manner. So if you do have a chance, if you're interacting with them at all this week or moving forward, just go ahead and give them a nice shout out themselves. It would go a long way if you just kind of express your gratitude to them as well. They're big fans of the whole team, everyone that, is interacting with us, but they're just awesome. They're awesome, awesome people. They're all over the world. And they are here because they want to help you guys be successful and ultimately help you bring in some additional income. So yes, we're investing in our team, investing in our systems, and celebrating people is always a really good thing. So celebrate the team if you can.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I was actually going to do a little shout out to the support team. So it's good. It's good that you mentioned that. Like Matt said, they've definitely helped take us to the next level. I mean, without the support team, we wouldn't have over almost 900 reviews at this point on Trustpilot, which is, a bit mind blowing considering we haven't even been in business a year, right? So we've got almost 900 reviews on Trustpilot. That's literally amazing, and that's a direct that's in direct correlation to the work that they do on a day-to-day basis in the intercom, in Discord, everywhere in the back ends. So yeah, we definitely can't thank them enough. And like Matt said, reach out through the chat, show appreciation. They're the ones that are helping to provide you guys with this opportunity. What is this? We got an annotator.
I turned it off. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, dude, we used to have so many problems with this back in the day. I'm hoping they say give thanks. That's what I'm hoping.
Right. Gratitude, guys. Thank you. Our gratitude. We want to express our gratitude by not doing the annotation, if you don't mind.
All right, so we've been on now for, I don't even know what time we started. We started around 12:30. We've been on a little over an hour now. I'm gonna go through a few more questions here, then we're gonna wrap it up, guys. And yeah, so let's answer a few more before I get into these final things. So will you guys create a Hall of Fame for the winners of the competition and traders who get paid out a certain amount? So that is definitely a great idea. And one thing I actually just noticed, Matt, it actually shows the person that annotates, just boot them.
And I think
Yeah.
because you're the one screen sharing, I can't see information. If you click security though on your control panel, I think you can turn off annotation. I don't have that setting.
Oh, dude, I'm an idiot. I just turned it off.
Cool. All right. I wanted
We're
to show
good.
that earlier. Uh,
We're good. We're good. No, it's not a problem. All right. So guys, come into the competitions page if you want to see previous standings, right? You could just come to January right here. You can go to finished if you want to organize it a bit better. Go to standings. You can come in here. You can see, who won. Asilabek is the winner. Maybe you find him on Discord, whatever. Maybe you make a poster of this, put it in your room, whatever you want to do, right? So this is where you can find the winners for the previous competitions. Now, when it comes to the biggest payouts, that's actually a very interesting thing to bring up is putting together maybe a page on the website where we put largest payouts in history or something like that. I mean, for now it's in the Discord, right? In the profits, I believe. Yeah, it's in the profits tab, profits channel. That's where all the payouts are posted in there. So if you guys want to see how much we paid out, we post every profit in there, right? So go in there, check it out. You can see who's got paid out the most. But as it stands, that's what we currently have. So two other questions. When do you plan on adding a new trading platform like MT5, C Trader, or other trading platforms? Until we get MT4 squared away, we get this purple trading thing going this weekend. That's the priority. And then we engage in this new partnership that I've hinted at. MT4 is just going to be what's available. MT5 will be available though very soon. I'll say like definitely within this year. We're hoping within the next quarter, but definitely within this year. I've heard so many times people mention they want MT5. C Trader is a bit lower on our priority list just because like literally only 1% of users want C Trader, so it's just been deprioritized. But Blake is honestly a big C Trader guy, so he's always pushing for it. So we're trying to, at the end of the day, make Blake happy, make you guys happy. So C Trader at some point will definitely be available. What's the timeline on being able to link your bank account to the dashboard for withdrawals under 5K? So yeah, I didn't mention this at all in this session, but we talked about it last time about integrating with Plaid with the dashboard, and then you guys be able to request payouts. And specifically, ones under 5K would be like a bit more automated. So you guys would be able to enter your bank details and really just get a payout from our wallet to your wallet. That's I have to check. I haven't actually over the last couple of days, we've been dealing with a lot of different things. I haven't actually checked the status of that project. I just know that it's currently in the pipeline and it should be coming out like with the new builds. I know it goes hand in hand with the new build of like the dashboard or the actual terminal. So I think that's something that will come with that, and that's about like 5 to 7 weeks away from actually being developed and then implemented. Would you guys consider investment by traders to have a stake in the company? It's an interesting thing. I mean, right now, no, right? We don't have any, infrastructure means to do that. But in the future, I think that creating alternative investment opportunities for traders, or maybe mentioning ones that we're taking advantage of, whatever, could become like a nucleus of the funded trader group, right? We could create some sort of like mastermind group, maybe people that get payouts over 50K get unlocked into a private chat, and then we're discussing, more serious business opportunities or something like that because we know that you guys have some money, right? Definitely something we can consider down the road. And I think that'd be something cool to look into. Just for now, we don't currently have that set up. Where do you see the Forex League in 5 years? So this is something that I've talked about with Nick before, and like Nick just hit 200K on his account, and then the Forex League page hit 100K on his account. I think the Forex League, educational platform in 5 years certainly can go in a lot of different directions. I mean, I think at a minimum, Nick's page is going to hit 1 million at some point, right? I think that's inevitable as long as we keep going. So obviously the influence is going to continue to grow. But I just see there being an opportunity like there has been from the beginning. I don't talk much about Forex League, with the funded trader stuff, but literally from the beginning, this has always been the case with Forex League is it's literally been, what are we trying to accomplish? we see the trading niche. A lot of people are doing a lot of lifestyle marketing and offer no value at all, right? Or they're offering like an expertise or something that's regurgitated, or it's not proprietary is not the word, but it's not unique, to their style, right? It's just something that's like copied. So we've been just trying to offer like as much of an authentic experience as possible, giving out valuable information, doing our live calls we've done now for 3 years. So I really see an opportunity at Forexly, considering all the freaking traders that are now in the Forex League group, that are passing challenges, that are making money. I mean, I see us being able to build infrastructure to grow even more, to promote people into higher positions, to give our traders more opportunities, whether that's in coaching capacities or funding capacities, stuff like that. That's kind of where I see Forex League going, is Nick and myself continuing to move into this overarching position where we're then managing the team. We have the trading team, whether we have some sort of, we've always wanted like a trading floor, but we kind of have that with Funded Trader now. So it's kind of just growing the actual quality of the traders that are in the group, and then just giving those quality traders more opportunities in the form of helping them either build their own brands, help them build Forex League even more, and stuff like that. I mean, we're not to rant too much about it, but we're closing off the lifetime membership this month, and next month will be application only. So only people with that submit an application will then be able to be accepted into the Forex League programs. And I'll put out updates in Forex League more about that. Let's be this. All right, so someone just asked a good question here. We're going to take about 2 more questions here. Can the company be more transparent regarding its actual trading executions regarding a funded trader's demo account? How will you minimize the differences? So Jin Kang, I think you actually are up a bunch of money on your account as well. So it's interesting that you asked this. If you go back in this webinar, I went through 2 examples of accounts where you can see the difference between that account being executed in a live environment versus a demo. I would take the time to review that section of this webinar, and also maybe reach out to us in the live chat, or through Discord, whatever, and connect with us to get more clarity on that, because I know that you're trading a funded account. All right, so 2 more questions here. I mean, we've got literally 100 more questions, but we're gonna stick to 2 more questions here. I'm gonna try to pick the best ones. Okay, this is a good one. Are there funded traders who are active for more than 8 months? Well, there's not, because we've been in business about 9 months. So the first funded trader didn't pass until about a month or 2 months in. But there are a few traders that actually have been trading for more than 5 months at this point. And there's, I think, one in particular who has gotten withdrawals every single month over 10K, which is obviously really impressive. Let's see this. All right, let's pick one last question here. Okay, this is a good one. This question is directed at you, Matt. It's not really, but someone asked, domain changes on the upcoming upgrades in the website. Interesting. So we definitely need to upgrade the domain for one reason or another. We won't get into that, but the domain most likely will change from the fundedtraderprogram.com to the fundingkingdom.com. There's different things that go on, trademarks, stuff like that. We've been contacted about that. So for one reason or another, we might have to change the domain from the fundedtraderprogram.com to the fundingkingdom.com. We'll be sure to set up redirect links, so if people are trying to go to the old website, they get directed to the new website, everything like that. And maybe there's a scenario where the person that owns the fundedtrader.com, they wake up from being, in their casket and freaking give us the domain, because we don't know where that person's at, but we've been trying to get in contact with them for 9 months now, and they just do not seem to be active.
I love it. And someone just said, kingdom is too limiting. How about universe?
I don't personally, I'm not a big Marvel guy, so I'm not trying to get into the whole universe thing, the funding universe and all that. Not a big Marvel guy, bigger medieval guy. So yeah, huge medieval guy, wake up in the middle of the night, train with my little sword and everything. So huge medieval guy. We're trying to stick to that multiverse. Oh my God. TFK, the funding kingdom, the funding chamber. Dude, that sounds dark.
Dark.
Hey, that guy. Well, we're trying to pay him. If you guys own thefundedtrader.com and want to pay out, reach out to us.
Yeah, we're interested.
Big bucks.
It was all part, I think the brand, the brand is obviously around knights and kingdoms, et cetera. And so I think it plays really well. It's a transition we've been talking about even prior to the whole, issue and things like that. So bear with us. We'll keep you guys posted on when this whole migration happens and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm actually personally pretty excited by it. But
I also want to mention one thing, Matt. I haven't discussed it with you yet, but some of you guys might know there's this FX summit in May, taking place in Miami, and there's going to be a lot of companies there. I know the owner of Oanda is going to be a speaker there. There's a lot of brokerages that got tables there, prop firms that got tables there. We're thinking of getting a table there. We're going to look into it, see what the cost is, see what goes into actually having a booth there. I think that'd be something cool, Matt, even for you to come down and you can meet a lot of different people like in the industry and whatnot. So if that happens, I'm going to be there in a night costume. Yeah. No, I'm actually not going to be there in night costume, but we'll probably hire someone to be walking around in like a night costume, go along with the theme, but we'll most likely be there. So if you guys don't know about the FX Summit being hosted by these guys, Chart Addicts on Instagram, I'm giving them a shout out for like no reason. These guys should like really pay me right now, but check out their page, check out the FX Summit. If you guys are going to be able to travel to Miami, maybe that's something that you guys look into doing. We'll be there, most likely. I'll definitely be there. So if you guys want to meet, that's somewhere where we could also do like a little meetup as well. So definitely look into that. That's something that's coming up soon in about 3 months now.
It's FX Summit, right?
Yeah, FX Summit. I'll get some links posted for that, and we'll get some info. Yeah, FX Summit 2022. It's in like a huge convention center in Miami. Like the venue's sick. They're doing a really good job with like setting it up and like getting a lot of cool speakers to come. A lot of Forex gurus. I know you guys love that. But some other speakers too, a little bit more accomplished than just Forex, internet trading. So yeah, we'll hopefully, see you guys there. And like I said, next month, we'll run the community webinar again. This coming month of March, we didn't do any public discounts, promotions this past month. We'll see what March brings us, right? We're gonna meet with the team and see what we want to do. I think there's a lot of things that we're working on, and we're just trying to stay as organized as possible and just stay on track. And we can't thank you guys again enough for all the support that you guys have given us. So it's been another community webinar. We'll be back next month, and we'll be talking to you guys throughout the whole month, this month. And yeah, thank you guys enough for hopping on and chatting with us. And Matt, thank you for joining us.
Angelo, and real quick, what everyone's waiting for, I think there's a giveaway.
Oh, there is a giveaway. All right, so
everyone's like, whoa.
I'm gonna rob everyone of the giveaway. All right, so let's see. The giveaway winner is Ibrahim Yassin. And if you've won before, man, that's crazy. So I feel like you have. But Ibrahim Yassin, you have won the giveaway. Reach out to us via the live chat on the website, and you will claim your prize. And your question was, do you think that the current business model is sustainable for the long term? Very good question, Ibrahim Yassin. And the answer to that is yes. So that concludes the session. We'll catch you guys on the next one, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.